Okay, usually you guys don't see me, but this is one of those things where I hate previous owners. Like the previous owner of the white dually I'm working on that I just brought to the house. For one, the dowel pin on the crankshaft, they ground it off. I don't know why. I don't know what the rhyme or reason there was. Two, they used some weird grade 8 bolts on the flywheel to mount the flywheel to the crank, and one snapped off the other night, so I'm getting to deal with that. Again, when I first got this truck, started dealing with it, all 4 of the 6 bell housing bolts that were actually there were finger tight. Speedometer cable wasn't even bolted in, it was just kind of laying there. And I'll put it this way, if I could find the guy and knew exactly where he lived, I'd catch him asleep and I would super glue his dick to his stomach. I mean, I'm just that fed up. I hate that guy, and I've never met him. The buy that I did was off my buddy who had got the truck and traded a car to it. And yeah, like I said, I hate this guy. I've never met the man in my life, but I hate him already. I already just want to just kick him in the dick. I mean, nothing on the truck that he touched was right. Nothing was torqued down. Nothing was the right bolts. So I had to go get new bolts, new stuff today, so I can start putting this transmission back in. The one you guys saw in the previous video over here. Yeah, I hate previous owners. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm some grade A mechanic, because I'm at best a shade tree mechanic, but this is one of those things where I just really hate people. I'm already one of those people that doesn't like humanity as a group, so this one guy stands out like a sore thumb to me because I really just can't stand him. And like I said, I've never met him, but based on his work, I know he's an idiot. Alrighty, these are the bolts that I got. These go for the pressure plate to flywheel bolts. They were 5/16 originally, so I just got the shanks that would fit, and I think they bumped them up to, I don't know, 3/8 maybe. These bolts are roughly the size. I have no clue about the previous bolts that came out other than they're grade 8s. No clue about if the original bolts are supposed to be fully shouldered with threads all the way down, or if it's supposed to have a shank. I just matched these up to the ones that I knew made the truck go. I got the stuff to do to drill out the broken bolt. I'm kind of honestly just don't even want to bother with it until I get the clutch kit for this thing and convert it to a single mass flywheel. And then once I do that, I'd like to just go ahead and be like, hey, have a shop put it in, because I have a bad back and a bum leg after an ATV accident. So anymore, I just kind of hand work off sometimes. If it's certain stuff, I just kind of hand it off, and at best watch it, watch them torque stuff down, things like that. But yeah, this is where I'm at on the nag so far. I got blue Loctite, because I do plan on getting these things back out for a clutch. So blue Loctite was $5. All these bolts plus 2 easy outs was $17 and some odd cents. So roughly 25 bucks. Gets me back to where I can put the damn transmission over here back in the nag. Alrighty. Yeah. This is at best a hack job. And yeah, you can see where one bolt came out and one bolt is snapped off up in there. So we got, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bolts. Okay, I got 8 bolts. And then you have the 6 bolts that I was mentioning that were 5/16 originally grade 5s, but I upgraded to grade 8s for these 6 bolts holds the pressure plate on. So that's kind of where we're at this point in time. Alright, got my handy dandy drill with, it does have a reverse function on it. I think this is like a 1/4 inch bit. It was actually a bit I got for a Mosin-Nagant project that I had, and I needed a bit that would handle case hardened steel. So that's what I'm using to drill out the offending bolt here in the crank of my truck. Let's see if it'll focus anymore. Yeah, there we go. It's kind of off-centered, but I didn't have much choice because where it was snapped. So yeah, I'm drilling that out, and I'm going to try to oval it out just enough to make that extractor fit. I may have to go up to a different size bolt drill bit. Got WD-40, so every 2 or 3 seconds of drilling, I'm going back and hitting it with the WD. It not only washes the particulate matter out of the bolt hole, but it lubricates and cools everything back down. And hopefully some of it will soak into the threads because it's fairly loose and stuff. So yeah, I'm hoping to at least get this done, because yeah, I was going to run it with it as is, but after I noticed right here where the dowel pin is supposed to be, you can kind of see the outline of it there. Right here where it's rounded, you can see the outline where it was. I don't know why they ground it off, but yeah. Alright, the drill bit that I used was not a 1/4 inch, my bad. It was actually something like a 7/64 or a 3/32. So I drilled the pilot hole in the center as best that I could, and once I did that, I kicked up to a 3/16 bit, drilled it 1/8 inch down maybe, and then I basically just started feeling with the easy out to see if it would grab, and now I can feel it grab. Now the actual instruction for it says use a 1/4 inch bit, and that's the next size up, and it grabs with this, so we're gonna go try it with this. Worst case scenario, I have to drill out some more. Now it says for hand application only, do not use power tools, and obviously I always use safety glasses. Now on these here, I thought I saw a drawing, never mind. Anyways, if you don't have one, they're really handy is a tap and die set. And the reason I like my tap and die is because of this bad boy. Basically, you just put your easy out in there just like you would a tap, and you tighten it down, and it allows me to grab a hold of it on both sides with equal force straight, and that way that everything works out as smooth as possible. Now I've soaked that with WD-40 for over an hour, and we're going to attempt to extract a bolt. I've got it tightened down. Oh my God, that is so nice. Oh, that is, if you've ever did this job before, this is not only, what I'm doing right now is better than sex. Like, think of the hottest woman you know, and times it by 1,000, and that's how this feels to effectively bang it, because it's tightening up, but it's out far enough now that I can actually grab a hold of it with my pliers. But yeah, that's the easy out right there. That's what real men look for in having sex. This right here, nice, smooth, and easy. Alrighty, this went so much smoother than I thought. A heads up, on a lot of things it doesn't matter, you know, if you're just fastening down a bolt and it snaps off, you can indeed weld a nut back onto the bolt. The thing about this is on my crankshaft on my new to me truck. Welding will sometimes magnetize things, and that is not what I want to happen, is to have the crank magnetize, suck all the particulate matter up, and score the crank on me. So that's a no-no. Now, this came out so much smoother than I originally had anticipated. But this is what it looks like. I drilled a pilot hole, widened it out a tad, just enough where I felt the easy out kind of grab. I'm trying to get this to focus. There we go. You can kind of see in there. And so part of it did collapse on me, but it got it 4 or 5 turns out, and then I could grab onto it with my pliers and then finish it on out. So score 1 for Wes and the open air garage. I am literally laying in water and mud to do this because I have no place. I had to put this truck behind where I normally park. You can see my other truck there. And yeah, this sucked major balls. Not as bad as it could have, though. I'll give it that. I will chalk it up to that. Call it a day. So now all I have to do is put my flywheel back on, put my bolts in, and then I can proceed as normal. Now, one more thing. I'm going to get me a little small nylon brush, and I'm going to get these chips out of the way so that whenever I do put my flywheel back in, I don't have to worry about the chips getting caught and scoring stuff and tearing it all to pieces. But I know it's kind of a windy video, but this is machinist stuff is something you can't rush. Like, you ever wonder why it costs $20 a bolt hole to have a hole drilled and tapped? This is why. And if you've ever did the job, you'll understand having that nice $18,000 lathe to cut things down, or that nice, $5,000 drill press really helps. Now, I'm not saying that this cheap Harbor Freight stuff I have won't do the trick, but with certain things you have to have precision and tolerances, and being a millwright at one point in my life, this is one of the things I learned, was you cannot rush excellence, and you cannot rush and do good work with high precision. And that's one of these things right here, pretty much has to have that.